Welcome to Deliciously Motivated Mindset, hosted by Deborah and Moira. This podcast is designed to help listeners unlock their full potential, both personally and professionally, so they can thrive, not just survive. Deborah and Moira explore how natural tendencies don't always serve individuals and provide insights on how to harness existing strengths. Their goal is to equip listeners with the habits, mindset shifts, and strategies needed for lasting, meaningful change. Finding purpose and fulfillment can be challenging, but this podcast offers expert conversations, practical advice, and valuable tools to help align with a true sense of purpose and create a more fulfilling life. So grab a notebook, open your notes app, and get ready to take in some game-changing insights. Let's dive in.
Welcome, dear listeners. Welcome, my dear Deb.
Hi.
Hello, lovely. Here we are with another one of our deliciously motivated mindset conversations. And this one is a very important conversation. They're all important in their own way, I'm sure. But this one can feel sneaky, I think, sometimes. We want to talk about breaking free from the pressure to be everything to everyone. Breaking free from the pressure to be everything to everyone. Can't be everything to everyone.
That just tires me out already, just even thinking about it.
It's like, not. Before we get started with our conversation, though, let's all bring our energies here together into this present space and time. I invite you to put one or both hands over your heart space, or you could put one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Take a nice deep breath in. And a long, slow breath out through your mouth. Softening into this present moment. Take another nice deep breath. Feeling yourself supported by whatever you're sitting on. Feel your feet connected to the earth as you breathe out. Letting go of any of the chatter, or any of the pressure that says, I have to do this, or I have to do that. Letting it go. Anything that's distracting you, just putting it off to the side for now. Breathe in. Allow yourself to connect with my energy and with Deb's energy. Set an intention for yourself that you're going to find a nugget of wisdom, the nugget of wisdom that you need to help you feel in alignment with your core, with your essence, with your truth. Breathe that in. Another slow, long breath out. And as you find your natural rhythm of breath, set another intention that you connect your energy with all those listening to this episode or this conversation, wherever and whenever they are. Nice deep breath. And now let's start to segue into our conversation. We encourage you to grab a note-taking device of your choosing. And let's start this idea, breaking free. I always like the idea of breaking free. I just have these visuals of, breaking free from all the shackles. The chains and the shackles and the spider webs and cobwebs that might be holding you stuck somewhere. So breaking free from the pressure to be everything to everyone.
There's so much. My head is like, and this tip, and this tip, and this tip. So I think as I start this, I'm thinking you have to find out, what do you desire? So if you want to break free from the pressure to be everything to everyone, what do you want to be? What do you want it to look like? Now you may just go, I don't know, and that's okay. But until you figure out what you want it to look like, you're not going to get that.
You can't do it,
No, because you like, I want to cook dinner tonight. Okay, what do you want to cook? I don't know. Well, what? They're like, that's how simple it can be. I don't know. Do I want meat? Do I not want meat? Do I want,
or I don't know, what do you want?
Yeah, right? Exactly. The hell, I don't know. I don't know.
I'll cook what you want.
Exactly. So I think you have to set the intention of what do you want? What do you want it to look like? Would be it. Just because if you don't know, if you don't know what you want your life to look like, then you're screwed.
Well, I think that as a caveat to that, though, it is important to have a sense of what you want it to look like, but maybe you don't have a sense of all of the
Yeah,
the,
you don't
the
have to have it
actual
completely.
parts, but you want to know how you want to feel,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. You might not know all the ingredients you want to cook, but
Yeah,
you want to wake up in the morning and feel refreshed, or I don't want to feel like all of those things. So
yeah,
you don't have to have all the specifics, but what what feels right for you.
yeah. What feels right for you? So, and that's following on from the cooking idea, you might say, what do you want? What do you want to cook? Well, I want to have chicken, or I want to have gluten-free, or I want to have,
Yeah.
right? So that actually it's like the big picture, which you
Mm,
can then kind of flow. You can't see me doing this, but I'm saying flow. Wow, how do I feel like?
yeah,
And
yeah,
and then basically, when in our last episode we talked about listening to our body, when we get really clear on what we want to feel, and
mm,
let's say we open the fridge and we can say, oh, look, there's tomato soup there. And
yeah,
and your body will maybe light up. So it's
yeah.
about really staying present to what feels in resonance right here, right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And I think just that alone allows it to go, oh, okay. Okay, I can see it. I can see it. I can see what's going on, and appreciating
Yeah.
that journey would
So
would
this
would
is this is trusting your inner wisdom, right?
yeah. Yes, yes, it is actually. Yes.
And knowing that it can change
Yeah.
because it's not always going to be that way. This makes me remember a time um many, many years ago. I was actually working full time and going to school to train into the healing arts work that I do.
Yeah.
Um, and so my husband did a lot of the cooking back then. And he was such a sweetheart. He would ask me what I would want at the beginning of the day. And then at the end of the day, then I'd come home and it'd be something similar to what I had said. But what we found was really interesting is that oftentimes it became a thing that I might say I'd like the idea of chicken in the morning, but then when I got home and smelled chicken, I'd be like, nope, nope, body's saying no chicken. And so we ended up getting to the point where he just would make soup.
It is.
He would just make soup, and then I could do whatever I wanted with the
You
soup.
can do, yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying is that you trust your inner wisdom, because a lot of times I was
Mm.
processing different physical pieces and different emotional pieces, and it was just because I said something at the beginning of the day, it's not going to serve at the end of the day. That's why it's so
Yeah.
important to allow your inner wisdom to be your guidance system,
Yeah. And
right?
and 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 things move as we
Yeah.
move. When we're no longer that person we were at high school. We're no longer that person. Well, we're no longer that person who we were last weekend, prior to the weekend before something happened. Um, when I think about breaking free, I love that word, breaking free. Breaking free from the pressure to be everything to everyone. You've got to remember that you can't pour from an empty cup.
Yes.
I listen to this and I just go, yes, Deborah.
This is for Deborah. This is for
This
Deborah.
is this is Deborah giving this tip to everyone else, but I'm going to give it to you as well. So, everyone else is getting it just so I can get it myself. But you can't pour from that empty cup. If our last one we talked about is listening to your body. If you can listen to your body, if it says rest, rest.
Yep.
If it
Yep.
says replenish yourself with water, then do that. Whatever that is. But if you're constantly give, you are going to get burnt out. It's a known fact. You cannot function on give until you die.
Yep.
Like you have to stop and look after yourself. And also, I think for me, one of the things I battled with a few years ago was self healing and looking after yourself is actually not selfish.
Nope.
saying no to people. Because I was like, oh, I can't say no to that person. That person needs help. I was like, actually, I can say no to that person because I can't give them anything right now,
Yeah.
whatever that is.
Yep.
But it's not selfish. That's
Nope.
the other thing I just want to emphasize that because that came into my mind a few years ago. But you can't pour from an empty cup.
No, and I completely agree with you because that's the whole point that I had to learn that lesson the hard way too. Because
Mm,
the I found it really hard to take time for me or to put me at the top of my priority list
mm,
because oh I can do that for that person and I've got the energy for that and I can do this and then but then at the end of the day there was no energy or resource left for me.
yeah.
But that actually is the way I turned it around, and I probably had to do it for, I would say, almost a year. Is that every time I did something for me, whether it was go for a nap, go for a walk, take a day off, even go for a massage, I was doing
Yeah.
it for those that I served. I was doing it
Mm,
for them.
yeah.
And so then that would stop the you can't take time off, you can't slow down because you've got all
Yeah.
these people that are waiting for you or needing your services. No, I can only be the service provider or the healer or the guide to the degree that I'm willing to fill my cup first.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the essential nature. And so I don't have to do it anymore. I don't have to tell myself that I'm doing any of my self-care for others because I'm the living proof of it. Like I keep going and keep doing things, but it's only because my sacred self-care is top priority every single day.
Yeah. Yeah. It's important.
Yeah. Well,
It's
it's
important.
essential. It's more than important. It's essential. It's crucial because we can last for a short time without it,
Mm.
but it's not sustainable,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We can do a little short burst of, yep,
You
I'm going
can.
to look after that. And this person's in crisis, so I'm going to do this and put their needs ahead of mine. It's not sustainable.
Well, you'll do it once and then you'll do it twice and then you'll do it thing. So even just when you were saying that, I was thinking stop chasing others' approval.
Yes.
That when you were saying that, I was like, oh yeah, I just need to do this so that people think I'm a good person, or I need to do this because, you know, yeah, people think I'm a good person. I don't know where that one came from twice. But people, I need to do, so stop. Am I doing this because I generally want to, or because I'm afraid of disappointing somebody?
Yep.
That's what comes in because when we live for approval, it it comes at our own pace.
You know, this reminds me, and I'm bringing back in my three questions. Is this good for me? Yes or no? Is this
Oh
good for
yes, of
me? Is
course.
this good for
Yeah.
them? Yes or no? Do I want to? The thought that came into my mind as you're saying that was I taught that to someone a couple of years ago, and it was like, is this good for me? Well, I'm not quite sure. Is this good for them? Yeah, of course, because they want me to do this.
Yeah,
And do
that's
I
the
want
funny thing.
to?
It's like, no, no,
No.
no, no, yeah, definitely for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But it was so magical because immediately she totally lit up. She's all like, gosh, it
Mm.
wasn't good for her and she didn't want to. So that was her permission to slip to say to these people, I can't do it. I'm not available.
Yeah. And so the thing is, the these the
Those.
these can be so simple.
Yeah.
Like this does not breaking free from the pressures to be everything to everyone. Is this good for me? No. Okay, done. That's it. Stop. That's it. Like, is it good for other, like any of these, the tips we give you are so simple. You don't have to rub them in anything that's going to burn you. Like, you don't have to like rub yourself. Like, these are simple. They don't
This is not
overcomplicate
about
this.
barbed wire.
Yeah, yeah,
This is
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Is this good for me is just a simple one that makes you just go, yeah, it is. Is it good for others? Yeah, it is. Do I want to do it? Yeah, I do. Okay, great.
Off you
Done. Move
go.
on.
Have
Or
fun.
no, it's not. No, no, I don't want to do it. Okay, great. No. Move on.
Hmm.
Like these are the flick of the flick of the finger. This is the click of the finger.
Click of the finger, snap of the
yeah,
finger.
it can be that quick. That's
Mhm.
that's literally it. And I
Mhm.
think this is a reminder. Yeah, this is good for me. It's just a simple one. But
Absolutely.
so quick to give you instant answers, and then all of a sudden your body just goes, "Oh, okay, a decision's been made.
Yep.
Okay, great, done. That's it."
This makes me think about I was thinking about the pressure. Think the tip that I wanted to start exploring here is to watch the story that you're telling yourself or that you're listening to,
Yeah,
right? Because where's that pressure coming from, right? The pressure to be everything to everyone. Well, because people like me always show up and do this, or I'm not going
they
to be.
expect me to.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
expect me to. Yeah, exactly. Or they told me to, or good girls do it this way. Actually, the other day we were having a conversation about grieving, about the different phases of grieving. And the conversation that somebody brought in was about anger. As we
Yeah.
we work through grief, anger is definitely something that comes up. But this is
Mm.
what she was talking about is that oftentimes and ancestrally we were taught, good girls don't get angry. Like
Oh yeah.
don't
Yep.
yell, don't scream, don't cuss in blind. And
Isn't that seen and not heard? Isn't that what
yeah,
you need to be seen and not heard?
yeah.
Good luck with that with me around. Okay.
But the point is that
Yeah.
when that in itself creates pressure when we
Mm.
start, and that's why I'm saying watch the story that you're telling yourself or that you're listening to, because sometimes it's an inherited story. It's got nothing to do with you.
Yeah. They are. What do you mean sometimes they are? They're like, no, that's not even mine. What?
Exactly.
But they're beautiful when you see that story, it just allows your shoulders to drop. It
Mhm.
allows you to just, just like it is, it's good for me. Those things, it just goes, oh, okay, 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 from that. But I think, what's the story you're telling yourself? When you were thinking that, I was thinking perfection. We
Mm.
we want perfection. People want perfection, just perfect it, if you're looking at what breaking free from the pressure, look at that perfection that you're going. And I'm going to say let go of that perfection because everything is actually perfect as it is.
Yep.
You do a presentation, you're like, oh, I missed one slide off. No one knows you missed that one slide
No,
off
they
apart from
don't.
you.
Yep.
But oh, I need to put that one and then I need to justify, and then I need to talk really fast, and then I need to get more into the
And they were
no.
sitting there saying, "Oh, that was terrible," and I just didn't measure up to the mark.
and
And
she
yeah.
and she talked really quickly and like that whole thing. But if we can let go of that, like trying to be the perfect person, trying to be the perfect parent, trying to be the perfect lover, the employee, the boss, like partner, friend, daughter, what like son, whatever that is, when we can let that perfection go, that is when we literally that pressure to be everything to everyone has gone. It just goes like that when we let that perfection go. Because we're focusing on the progress and authenticity of what we're putting into it over this has to have the right color swab.
Absolutely. I just made a wee note on that. Letting go of perfectionism is, and this is a mantra that I've referenced uh, many episodes ago. The mantra says, I am what I am, and that's enough. I
Oh, I love
am
that.
what I am, and that is enough. I am what I am, and that is enough. That in itself, and it may be, dear listeners, if you do find yourself in that sort of pressure cooker idea of, "Oh, I have to do it this way, and I have to show up this way, and I have to be
Yeah.
dressed this way, and I have to have all the slides in the
Yeah.
presentation." I am what I am, and that is enough. You are enough
Yeah.
exactly as you are. It's how you roll. And sometimes we have to keep repeating that to ourselves to calm our nervous system down to say, huh, they didn't criticize the presentation. They did get the gift from what I was
Yeah,
speaking, even though I tripped over my words, right?
even even though I'd missed three quarters of the things I wanted to say. they still got enough. I think
Yeah.
I love that. I am what I am, and that is enough. That's a beautiful, just back to your heart again.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's coming into the authentic nature of you. Each one of us, our responsibility is to show up as we are,
Mm.
not as we think we should be to get approval or to
Yeah,
get ratings or whatever it is we think that we're going to get by being everything to everyone.
yeah, and I think just even when you were talking then, it doesn't. Your worth isn't measured by how much you do in a day.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably one of the things I've learned more this last year, more this year probably, is that I'm valuable who I am right here, right now, and I don't have to do 20,000 tasks in a day to still be valuable in this world,
100%.
you know,
And
and,
that's
and
that's coming back into the thing that you and I've talked about before, is that we are not human doings, we're human
no,
beings.
yeah,
And we have to calibrate to and have a real strong sense of awareness of how are we wired.
yeah,
Not everybody's wired with the same amount of energy to get things
yeah,
done. Some need more being time. Others are more of the doing, but it's you got to calibrate to your right rhythm,
yeah,
right?
what works for you. And yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So this is
I think even,
awareness, being aware of how you're wired.
yeah, yeah. And have we talked about comparison?
And I guess we didn't.
No, I haven't.
Well,
Watch watch that comparison. Watch that comparison of others. When you're comparing to others, you do minimize your worth.
yeah, 100%. But when you're doing it that way, also you are when you're comparing yourself to others, you're kind of judging yourself that you're not good enough just as you are.
Yeah.
Not only that is are you looking for other people's approval? I think that is what you talked about earlier. Didn't you talk
Yeah.
about going for approval? Yeah, you
Oh
did.
yeah, stop
You did.
chasing approval.
Stop,
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
That's where I knew that it had come up.
I was like, there was something somewhere in here. I was like, something, yeah, you can't. But comparison is an ugly place to be. You just spend more
It
time
so
comparing
is. Yeah.
than other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a disservice. It's a disservice
Yeah.
because you're comparing yourself to somebody else's outer expression.
Yeah, which is nothing to do with you.
No, and they're wired in a different way too. That's why self-awareness is such an important piece too.
Yeah.
So comparison, maybe if you start feeling like you're comparing yourself or judging yourself based on what you think somebody else thinks about you, that's time to stop, come into some heart coherence and look at how are you wired? How does this make you feel about you? Do you feel in connection with your soul's guidance, with your essence?
Yeah.
Right? So that to me is Deb's talked about this tip before too, about the gathering the data.
Mm.
Where is the data that says I have to show up like this or do things in this way? Where's the information that says you're not good enough or you need to do it, you need to work
Yeah.
harder, or you need to hustle more, or you need to get more clients, or you need to, I don't know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Where's the data? So gathering the data that says think of the times that you have done something at your right rhythm, at your pace, and it's actually all gone really, really well for you,
Mm.
right? And
Yeah.
then,
And just gathering that data just makes you go, oh, okay. Okay. I can see it. I can see it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I am doing the best I can. Oh, there is the 4 agreements.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Right. We haven't had those for a while.
No, we haven't. But see right there, wouldn't you say the 4 agreements is such a beautiful recipe to help break free from the pressure to be everything
Mm.
to everyone? So the
Yeah.
4 agreements are to be impeccable with your word, tell yourself the truth, speak the truth, right? Be impeccable with your word. Don't take things personally. You see, if we are under pressure to be everything to everyone, we're making it all about us, but it's not. We're part of a much bigger landscape here.
There's a bigger collective going on here. Yeah.
Yeah, don't make assumptions. Don't make assumptions that oh, I forgot, I flubbed my lines there, or I lost the slide, or I didn't bring into the conversation all the points I want. And then we assume that we're not doing the right thing, or that
We're not good enough.
we're not good enough. Yeah. Don't make assumptions. Because
Yeah.
people and that's what we were talking about, is that people will always get what they need. And then the last one was always do your best. Always do your best. That right there frees you from the pressure to be everything to everyone, frees you from perfectionism. It's like, no, this just high roll. I am who I am, and that is enough.
And that is
Bang.
enough. Yeah, done. That's it. End of. I
Yeah.
am who I am. That's enough. Yeah. When I was thinking about this, I was thinking to break free from the pressure are you, I talked a little bit at the start about filling your cup, but are you doing the glitter bombs throughout the day? Are you doing your self-care rituals? Are you doing what lights you up?
Your
Because if you're doing
gratitude practices.
yeah,
Mhm.
because if you're doing everything for everyone else, you're literally putting everyone else ahead of you, definitely.
Yeah.
But, if you're doing that, between each client, you want to walk outside and just walk around the garden. If that's what you want to do because that feels right, or having a glass of water in a wine glass instead of a normal glass, or out of your drink bottle, like just doing things a little bit differently that give you that spark, that because you want to make sure that you're filling your own cup.
You're listening to Deliciously Motivated Mindset with Deborah and Moira, here to help listeners unlock their full potential so they can thrive, not just survive. They've shared some very powerful insights so far, so it's time to take a moment to breathe, reflect, and jot down any key takeaways. What's one piece of advice that stands out to apply right away? Before wrapping up, Deborah and Moira would love to hear from everyone. Reach out with thoughts, questions, or feedback, and drop your favorite tip from today's episode. They're inspired to see how listeners are putting these insights into practice. Let's dive back in and finish strong.
But also, by doing that, you actually become a better service provider, or a teacher, or
Yeah.
mentor, or whatever it is
Yeah.
you're doing, because you're allowing yourself to calm your nervous system, to fill your cup, to be present. By us being present, we can really listen so much better than if we just went, oh, next call, next call, next call.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
will lose the ability to be of
Your
best
essence.
service. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's going back to that whole part of, sometimes you need to remind yourself that there's a ripple effect when you look after you to that
Well,
degree.
you also know if you don't have a walk in the morning, you're like, Maura, you walk every day. If you don't have a
Yeah.
walk, you're a whole different person.
Yeah.
Until you have that walk.
Yeah.
And it is that. It is that. Yeah, you do it because what fills you up.
Yeah.
Like some people like coffee in the morning, some people don't. But whatever that is, if that's what they love to do, that makes them feel, yay, I start my day intentionally with beautifulnul,ness, or I end
Mhm.
my day, or throughout the day, there's something in there. Just do what lights you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And know that, so that's actually a really good example, because for me, I do have my practices that I start the day with every single day. The time that I go for my walk will shift and change depending on what my schedule is, but I still do it,
Yeah.
right? So
And you're different before you go, you're different as you go, and you're different when you come back.
yeah,
Like there's three stages of your PEMS,
yeah,
I think.
that's actually a good point
Actually,
to
that's
bring into this
I
conversation, is the
describe PEMS.
PEMS. Yeah, that's the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, because that also helps you break free from the pressure to be everything to everyone. Because if you do your check-in and it's like, emotionally, I'm just feeling like I'm not really capable of having a conversation about whatever, what's going on with that client, or um or maybe I'm feeling achy in my body, so maybe I need to go and do a bit of qigong or stretching or
Yeah.
lie on my heating pad or something. So
Listen to your body. Yeah.
yeah, it's listen to your body. But that means, so here's the thing. To break free from the pressure to be everything to everyone, you have to walk your talk.
Mm,
So
yeah.
whatever it is you are to someone, whether that's a caregiver or a healer or a coach or a mentor or a teacher, whatever it is, or just somebody who
A sibling.
wants to help people feel better about themselves, you got to look after you first. And that releases the pressure because I have to be grounded and balanced and calm and flowing and at ease with me.
Yeah.
And if that means I have to say to someone, hey, can we reschedule?
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
We don't push through and say, oh, but I said I was going to do it, so I have to. Or,
No.
no, that person really
Yeah,
needs it.
I think remembering the other thing is if you said to, if you said to me, I'm going to do this by 5 o'clock today,
Mhm.
and I knew you were sick or you had 20,000 other things to do, or you're even, you're being crook or anything like that, and you can't lift your head off the pillow, and you're like, oh my God, I've got to get this done by Deborah by 5 o'clock. I don't fricking want it.
No, you
I
don't.
don't want that
That
5
energy.
o'clock. No, I don't want that from you. And I would feel sick and horrid to know that you gave your lifeline away to get my 5 o'clock deadline.
Yeah.
Like, I think that I would feel horrible for that. So when we're talking about this, if you so give people a heads up.
Yeah.
Don't just dump them at 5 to 5 and say it's not going to happen, because you're going to put a little bit of pressure on them. But if you know at 4:30 it's not going to happen, let them know at 4:30. So let people know, hey, I'm not going to make it tonight, or
Yeah.
I'm not going to make it at the weekend. Like, let them know. Don't wait till 5 minutes before you're
Don't do
supposed
it
to
five
be
minutes
there.
before. Absolutely.
But give them as much warning as you can, because once that warning's done, they can then free them up for their world. But
Mhm.
yours, if you're the sick one or something, you can go, oh, okay, great.
Yep.
I don't have to do any more of it. It's done. It's off my list. It's now delegated back to Moira or whatever.
Yep.
I don't want I don't want your energy if it's like that. And I definitely don't want to know that I'm the one who's put you in hospital because you had a deadline. Like, no
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
But I don't want that there. And so give people a heads up. Like, I could have said plenty of
You
warning.
you want to give as much warning as you can. And the line that I just wrote here is something that you've often said yourself, is everything's movable.
Yeah.
Right? So even though if I said, yeah, Deb, we're meeting at 3:30 my time, um, and then but to your
Which we do.
point, which I do,
6 a.m. my time, yeah.
yep. But like to your point, if I wake up and I let's say I wake up and I have a headache and a sore throat and really, really tired and got something going on, um, I might see, can I shift this? What do I need?
Yeah.
Can I
Yeah.
take some remedies? Can I maybe get a bit more sleep? And so this is being diligent, and then maybe a couple of hours into my day, it's like, no, it's not shifting. Then I'm going to reach out as quickly as I can and say, hey, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
And we'll reset. I mean, you and I have standing appointments, but that's why I'm saying is that there's a process there, but
Yeah.
you do know in advance of it,
You
right?
do. Yeah, you do.
Mhm.
You do. Yeah. Like, yeah, well, I had to cancel something recently, and it was right till I was like, no, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. Now I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And lo and behold, I end up in hospital.
Yep.
So, and then I'm like, okay, well, you're in hospital. You can't do it while you're in hospital. So clearly you have to cancel, Deborah.
Yep.
Duh.
Yep.
Like,
Like,
duh.
yep.
Clearly
There's the
that,
memo. You got
yeah,
to read
exactly.
there. That was a big break free from the pressure.
Yeah, that was okay. I can't blame anyone. I can't help anything. It's just like, yeah, okay. I'm in hospital.
Mhm.
That's not going to happen.
Yep.
And everyone's still managed. And like that's
Yeah.
the funny thing is, when we're giving people deadlines, you're not stripping them of their power. You're
Mm,
actually empowering them to find a solution.
yeah.
And even though they might be under pressure, that solution, I hate to tell you people, is actually better than you.
Yep.
Because if you think you're going to show up as a 10 and then you're in hospital and they get someone else, that person's going to show up as 11. The next person who comes in is going to be better than you. Just a heads up, just so you know. But that's what we want.
Exactly. Because, and that's actually a really good point, is that you operating at half mast, right? Is
Oh,
that
totally.
you're not doing any service. In fact, you're kind of, there's a saying in the UK that we used to use, is that is it the saying is camouflaged whole. So somebody
Oh,
showing up to do a job that's incapable of doing it.
yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
camouflage hole because really you're not getting the job done properly,
Yeah.
but it's camouflage because there's somebody there supposedly doing it.
Yeah.
So it's much better saying, no, you know what, I can't do that job. That's
Yeah.
not my skill set. It's not my wheelhouse. That's
Yeah.
the way to deal. And then management can say, oh, I need to get a temp in, or I can do it, or here, there's
Yeah.
somebody else in my department that can do it, right?
Yeah, and that unlocks complete beauty. That unlocks complete beauty. Oh, there's so and so who used to do this job. They've just said they want a week's work. Oh my God, I can bring them in, and they
Yeah.
train that person. Duh, but it's it's our own ego, I guess, that goes, no one can do a better job than me, or yeah, I did have that. Yep, okay. I can hear my words, and I'm like, damn, damn.
See, it's all about Deb here.
No, I think the last one was the body one, I think was my one as well. That was at me. But if you just want to give people a heads up as much, because you don't want to throw them into
Of
pain,
course.
but and just know that you're empowering them. You're not disempowering them.
Yeah. There is going to be times I can think of a time where I had to break, and actually it was funny, not funny. I broke an appointment, and I only got clued into the appointment because she sent me a reminder. Had she not given me a
Oh,
reminder, I wouldn't have even said, "Oh, hey, I can't make it." This was when my husband was in hospital, and that was part of what was going on. So that's why I'm saying is when you got things like
yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah,
I took complete ownership, and the person was totally understanding, of course. So that's why
yeah,
I'm saying is that you do your best, right?
yeah,
Going back to the four agreements there, that
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah, yeah,
do
yeah,
your best, right?
yeah, 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 totally. The four agreements are solid,
Hmm.
solid, solid, solid. Um, Our time is up to recap everything. I think I've got the dud job. I have to go. Our time's up. Our time's up. I feel like the boohoo person here. Our time is up because we have to go through everything, all of these tips again,
To remind Deb,
to
because
remind
it's
me that
it's
I
all
need
about Deb.
need to listen to these things and implement them in my world. Crikey, crikey. But grab your note-taking device, people, because we are going to sum up our podcast in a condensed version with a couple more. There's bound to be a couple more in there
There always is.
before we send you on your way. And our podcast today is breaking free from the pressure to be everything to everyone.
Mm, mm,
Eek,
mm,
eek,
Let's
eek, eek,
break
eek.
free of that one.
Do, 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 do. It's that thing. Um, do you want to crack off today? Do you want to crack off
Sure.
today? We'll
I'll
start today.
I'll start today. Um, this is where Deb started us off with saying, find out what you want, what you desire, set your intention. That's when I said sometimes this can be a little bit of a broad thing, is I'd like to experience this, or I'd like to feel this,
Yeah.
as opposed to knowing all the attributes to it. But really have some clarity on it,
Mm,
right?
yeah. Yeah. The next one is trusting your inner wisdom. Wisdom, I said, and you
In
trusting your
your
inner
inner
wisdom.
wisdom.
Inner wisdom. Yep, that's a new word. Your wisdom. It's trusting your inner wisdom.
Mhm.
and knowing it can change at any time and you can control it. But trust your inner wisdom because it is there guiding you all the way through.
Yep, absolutely. And the next one, and I had to say that I had a wee giggle when Deb said this one, is you can't pour from an empty cup. Because that's usually Moira that says that one.
Yes,
But
usually,
it's
yes.
good. It's good that Deb's embodying that one.
See, this is all for me. This is all for me. I do listen to you, Moira.
So you have to stop and look after yourself and really find what's your rhythm, what's the right thing. Because that's when I talked about sacred self-care is essential. Deb said important, and I said, yeah, it's essential.
Yeah. Yeah. It's important. It's essential.
Mm-hmm. It
Yeah.
is. So stop. Have to stop doing so much. And just check in. And this is about the finding your rhythmic right way. That's something I often say, the rhythmic right way. I just like saying it because it feels
Yeah, I like
good
that, the
saying it.
rhythmic right way.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next one I have is stop chasing approval.
Mm.
Just stop. That's it. Just stop. Just
Yep.
stop. And
Yep.
then Moira went, which is one of my favorite one, is this good for me?
Yep.
Is this good for others? And do I want to do it?
Mm.
And but they have to be hell yeah, bring it like, is this good for me? Yeah. Is this good for others? Nah. Then
That's a
no, just
no.
stop.
Nope.
Don't even get to the third
You don't, yeah,
question.
you don't need to ask
Yeah,
anymore. Mhm.
yeah. But just those. So just stop chasing other people's approval because it ain't going to take you on a flipping journey that you don't need to go on.
Yep.
Saving your time, people. That's what I'm doing.
Absolutely. The next one I said about this one about watching the story that you're telling yourself or that
Mm,
you're listening to. And sometimes we're listening to stories, or sometimes we're even telling ourselves stories that aren't even ours, that they're inherited or we picked them up along the way and didn't sort of pause long enough to say, hey, is this mine? Does this
yeah,
resonate?
where did this come from, huh? Yeah,
Who said that?
yeah, that's the one. Yeah. The next one is perfection. And this is
Yes.
probably one of the biggest ones that I've learned over the years is letting go of perfection.
Mhm.
Letting go of what this. And Moira had a lovely little mantra, I am what I am, and that is enough.
Mhm. Just keep
Yeah.
repeating it.
Just, yep. You don't have to tattoo it on your forehead or anywhere on your arm or anything, but just
Or you
letting go.
could.
Yep, or you can do that, except Moira's allergic to tattoos. Yeah, that's it. Yep, and Deborah doesn't want any more. So let go of that perfection. I am what I am, and that is enough.
Absolutely. The next one, and this is another one that Deb brought in that I thought was great, is your worth is not measured by what you do in a day. Your worth
Yeah,
is not measured by what you do in a day. And this pressure to be everything to everyone is like, oh gosh, they're not going to like me or approve of me or have me in their club if I'm not always doing and getting this done and meeting the deadlines. And yeah, that's a bit of a
yeah,
crock. That's a bit of
yeah,
a crock. Do you know this
yeah,
to be true? Nope.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Is this true? No. And I think we talked about compassion. Sorry, comparison,
Mhm.
comparison. Actually, I'm going to say compassion as well. Have compassion for yourself. I'm actually going to add that
Yes.
one in. Have compassion for yourself and love for yourself and kindness and you know um compassion. When I think about compassion, separate your responsibility from
Mhm.
compassion.
Mhm.
Like actually go, okay, compassionate to myself and those around me. But I was talking about comparison. I
I
was
know.
actually
But
and be aware
that
of that
whole thing
comparison.
about compassion with the comparison, those two actually
Yeah,
are beautiful together because it's like remind yourself of your own humanity,
yeah, yeah,
right? So your humanity might have you comparing yourself to somebody else,
yeah,
but it's okay. Can you be compassionate and just say, okay, I see it,
yeah,
I acknowledge it. You know, you're seen, heard, and acknowledged. That's it,
yeah, yeah,
right?
totally. That's it. And that alone just shuts it down
Yeah,
straight away. That
yeah,
alone just shuts it down. Yeah.
yeah. And then from there, we talked about gathering data. Like
Mm,
so that actually I just said a moment ago, do you know that to be true? So if you're telling yourself a story oh, I have to do it this way or I have to hustle and push. And is that really the truth? And what's the data that says, oh, you know what? I was late on a deadline and I didn't get told off or I didn't lose the job or right?
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Which brought us into the 4 agreements. And the 4 agreements, I'm actually going to have to ask Moira to say what they are because I could probably pull them up on my Google, but Moira's got them in her Google brain. But the
Oh my
4 agreements are solid. Be
Mhm.
impeccable with, oh no, actually, I'll just let Moira do them.
So I like to say, just for today, be impeccable with word. So just for today, I'm going to be impeccable with my word. Just for today, I'm not taking anything personal. Just for today, no making any assumptions. And just for today, I'm going to do my best. And the reason I like to put just for today, because sometimes when people get into these 4 agreements, be impeccable with your word, don't take things personally, don't make assumptions, and do your best. They kind of go into overwhelm, deer in the
Yeah,
headlights. Like, oh my God,
yeah.
they're so hard. Well, just sign up for
Just
it
for
just for
today.
today. Just for
Yeah.
today.
Just for this meeting, I'm going to be impeccable with my word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah. Oh, of course I can do that. Um, do what lights you up.
Hmm.
Do what lights you up. Do that sacred self-care practice throughout the day. Do your glitter bombs throughout the day. Do, diary them and honor them. And, because you're putting less pressure on yourself if you can put in glitter time.
Yeah.
Like Moira calls it sacred self-care. I mean, my glitter time, I've got glitter time in my pockets in my diary,
Yeah.
in my schedule. And I love that. So do what lights you up. And today, what lights you up may not be what lights you up tomorrow.
That's why I like to say, because I call this part the self-soothing kit. And so
Yes.
that my idea with the self-soothing kit is that you have a plethora of ideas that's
Mm.
self-soothing. And so
Yeah.
today it might be petting my cat. Tomorrow it might
Yeah.
be smelling the lilac tree out in my
Yeah.
garden, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All those things.
all those things.
All those things.
The next one I was from that with this idea of the self-soothing kit and the glitter bomb. I just said it's really good to do a PEMS check-in. Check in
Yeah.
physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, and make that something that you do throughout your day also because it shifts and changes as you navigate and go through the different
Yeah.
to-dos items.
To-dos.
Yes.
To-dos. 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 To-dos.
Yep.
Um, the next one I have is give people a deadline as much notice as possible. Give
Yes.
people a deadline as much notice as possible, meaning um, let them know that if you're not going to make that 5 o'clock deadline, try not to do it 1 minute before 5. Actually, legit, give them
Yep.
that deadline as much as you can. Um, and you're going to empower them to find a solution. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be your solution base from
Absolutely.
that. Yeah.
And because that's when I said I used your line that's basically saying everything's movable. Because if we're really pressurizing ourselves to be everything to everyone, and we got the example that you gave with this one was that if I pushed myself and said, "Oh well, hey, I said 5 o'clock, I'm going to do this," and I'm
Yeah.
coughing and spluttering and falling asleep and
Yeah.
then you see we're not doing just service to whatever it is that we're doing, whether it's a
Yeah.
chapter or an audio or a newsletter or so it's everything is movable, but you also know when you're doing your regular check-in throughout your day, it's like, gosh, I've got a real sore throat, or I need to shift the
Yeah.
schedule. And you
Yeah.
yeah, there are
Honor
times, and I
yourself.
gave an example of a situation where it was last minute. I have to say, no, I can't come.
Yeah.
Those happen. Those types of situations happen. We can't pretend that they're
Yeah, they
not.
don't happen every day. They're just
They
a they,
certainly
they
do
just
not.
happen, and they happen when they happen.
Yep.
And
Yep.
they're at the most inconvenient times. Just so you know, if you haven't worked through your stuff, happens at the most inconvenient times. You're like, okay.
Uh-huh. So sometimes when that kind of thing happens, the best thing for you to do is to calm your nervous system, hand on your heart, and just say, I've got this.
Yeah,
I've got
yeah,
this. Right?
yeah. That's perfect. That's
Yeah.
that. I've got this. Wow. Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. What a beautiful way to, well, we haven't ended. We're nearly at the end.
Nearly.
nearly at the end of that. So let's
Yogi
get our
teas.
yogi tea bags. Let's get our yogi tea bags.
These are very interesting ones that came out
Yeah.
today for this one. First one is master the unknown by knowing your deep self. Ooh, that's a beautiful way to release that pressure.
Yogi tea bags are phenomenal.
Aren't they excellent?
Yeah.
Master the unknown by knowing your deep self. And
Yeah.
then this one just makes me smile. It's breath is the voice of your soul.
Oh.
Breath is the voice of your soul. So listen.
Oh.
They're good ones, aren't they?
Oh. I'm going to remember that one today. I'm going to write that one down. I'm going to put that in my breath is the
voice of your soul.
Oh, that's lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a lovely one. Yes, okay, rightio. Oh, that took me on a little journey. That took me on a
That
little
got
journey.
you there.
Yeah, that's a beautiful. Yeah, good old yogi teabag strikes again.
Yep.
Strikes again. Well, so my job is to wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
And I want people to go. And I think when I'm going to say all this stuff that I've been thinking about, it's clearly all for me. Just so you know, it's clearly all for me. When you stop trying to be everything to everyone, you finally have the space to be the best version of yourself.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know, and it's so obvious.
It is so
Yeah.
obvious, but I like that.
It's so obvious.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to leave you with a question, people. So I'm going to make you go. We're breaking free from the pressure of everything to everyone. Where in your life are you trying to be everything to everyone?
Mm.
Where in your life are you trying to be everything to everyone? And what is one small, and I'm going to use the B word, boundary. What is one small, I'm labeling it small, boundary you could create this week to honor yourself?
Beautiful. That's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
That's a mic drop.
Yep.
And
Yep.
we'll leave that with that one.
Beautiful
Well,
one to wrap
listeners,
this one up.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, Moira. Thank you, Internet. But thank you for showing up. Like, I really appreciate knowing people are listening to this and they're changing their world. So let us know. Let us
Yeah.
know what are you changing in your world?
Definitely.
I mean, yeah, let us know because we want to know. I'm nosy. I'm nosy. I want to know that you're changing. I meet people and they go, "Oh, I listened to your last podcast and you gave this tip," and I'm thinking that was like 6 months ago. What? Huh? I didn't even know you listened to my podcast. I didn't even know. So let us know. We want to be involved in your
we'd
world.
love to hear. We'd love to hear. It gives us meaning of what we do here with these conversations.
I am what I am, and that is enough.
Absolutely. That's a good one to sign this one off too.
Thank you, listeners. Thank you, Moira. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today.
Thank you, dear Deb. Thank you, listeners. Talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning into Deliciously Motivated Mindset with Deborah and Moira, where the mission is to help listeners unlock their full potential and thrive, not just survive. As the episode comes to a close, they trust you've gained some powerful insights. If you haven't already, take a moment to reflect on one key takeaway that you'll apply right away. Before we wrap things up, Deborah and Moira would love to hear from you. Reach out with thoughts, questions, or feedback and drop your favorite tip from today's episode. They're inspired to see how you're putting your insights into action. Thanks for listening, and remember to keep thriving.